Elena had always dreamed of standing at the summit of a towering mountain, breathing in the crisp, pure air. When she finally reached the base of Mount Kiro, she was full of excitement and anticipation. But as the ascent began, the cold and the thin air started to feel different than she'd imagined. The higher they climbed, the harder it was to breathe. The world around her seemed to shrink, and her head began to pound with a dull, persistent ache. By the time they set up camp for the night, Elena felt dizzy, her legs weak. She lay in her sleeping bag, staring at the stars, but even the beauty of the night couldn't shake the sick feeling in her stomach. It wasn't just the altitude that was starting to get to her. It was a deeper fatigue, a nagging weakness that seemed to drain her every step. The next morning, she barely managed to eat breakfast. Her guide, Tomas, noticed her struggle. "You're feeling the mountain," he said gently. "Altitude sickness. It's common, but we need to take it slow." Elena nodded, trying to push through. But the headache intensified, her breathing became shallow, and the air seemed to grow thinner with every step. The mountain was beautiful, but it felt like it was pushing her down, squeezing the life out of her with its vastness. Tomas helped her back to the lower camp, where she could rest. "Sometimes the mountain wins," he said, his voice filled with quiet wisdom. Elena closed her eyes, finally surrendering to the sickness that had taken over her body. As she lay there, she realized the summit wasn't the most important thing. The mountain had taught her humility, the power of nature, and the value of listening to her body. She would return one day, but not today. Today, she simply had to let the mountain heal her. And so, as the clouds rolled over the peaks, Elena breathed deeply, accepting the lesson the mountain had offered her.